everybody, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to take a look at Elementary OS. Just want to take a minute and tell you guys thank you so much for your continued support and viewership of my channel. It means the world to me. I'd like to thank Mislav Kreleza for his patronage over at patreon.com. If you guys really enjoy the video, you can always exercise a thank you by hitting that thank you button down below. Also, later when it's available, you guys will be able to join the channel. Right now, I'm waiting the time period for them to turn the button on or whatever, because you can now join my channel. I'm eligible for that. So if you get a chance, please join the channel. Help us out. And every little bit you give helps so much. Until then, you guys continue watching these videos. You guys continue doing what you guys do. Stay blessed. Keep on Linuxing and enjoy this video. It is an Ubuntu-based distribution that just released its version 7. Version 6 was about a year ago. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what has changed. So here is Elementary OS with the Pantheon desktop. This is its claim to fame. What it was really known for is taking an Ubuntu distribution and making it look a lot like Mac OS. That's what they're geared for. And they've done quite well. Aesthetically, it is a beautiful distribution. It definitely gives you the look of the Mac and feel. It's based off of Gnome 43. So they just heavily customized it to do that. So at the top, you have your bar. Over here is your standard Gnome 43 feel. Over here is your standard Gnome 43 feel, where you can actually open it up to see your applications that are installed. So, I mean, looking at it here, they don't have a lot installed. Basically, App Center, Calculator, Calendar, Camera, plain text editor called Code, Doc Viewer, Feedback button, Gnome Files, Image Magic, which is a color mapper, a mail client, which from what I understand, according to the webpage, we'll go take a look at their webpage here shortly. They did a lot to make it feel more, if I open it up, it wants me to put an account in. But according to the webpage, they added a more modern feel to it. So has calendars and everything else in it as well that you can actually link. They got the multitask viewer, music player, which is for playing music on your hard drive. In order to get anything to play music online like Spotify or something like that, you have to go to the App Center, and we'll take a look at that there. Photos, this is their photo viewer, which is, I don't know if it's Eye of Gnome or what, but let's see, under preferences, and there's no about. Or I'm not sure what this is, but it's definitely a photo viewer and not an editor. They have a screenshot tool, then they got shortcuts. And then on the other screen, they have your system settings, which if you open it up, it's pretty much so your standard Gnome system settings, where you can adjust displays, applications, language and region, security and privacy settings, system hardware, so you can look at your operating system, which is built on 22 LTS, which is a long-term version with the 5.15 kernel, which is awesome. For hardware, I'm using my ThinkPad. As you can see, I installed it on bare metal, so that way people can understand that I do things on bare metal and not always in a virtual machine. And then for the firmware, this is where you can, it's got my BCM for it's using a Broadcom wireless driver, and it readily accepted it, so that was kind of cool. It launched it from the GitHub. I will tell you that it didn't do it when I did the live CD to install. I was able to connect, no problem. Then when I was doing the actual, because you do the install, then you reboot again, and then it goes through the setup process. It's got the post setup welcome menu where you can install certain things. It does that, and then I was able to, I couldn't connect it, and then it wasn't until I actually went to the desktop that I was able to connect it. So, and then of course I've got a tasks, which is like a personal planner, sort of, so to speak, but doesn't have a calendar. It just, tells you any tasks that you have to do. So it's more like a to-do list or whatever. And then for videos, I got the standard video player, which is probably, I don't know if it's MPV or what have you, but here you can play videos, anyone that you have downloaded or stored to your hard drive or whatever. And for the web browser, they have their own, it's called Web, but it is clearly a fork of Mozilla Firefox, as you can tell by the bar at the top. And if you go here in the settings, you see Firefox Sync. So I don't know what version of the application it is. I wonder if preferences will tell me. No, it won't tell me. There's no about, so I can't really tell you exactly what version it is, but it is a fork of Firefox. So I'm sure that a lot of your Firefox add-ons will work as well. So that's kind of cool. Anyhow, if we go here to their webpage where we're at right now, it says, today we're proud to announce that OS 7, codename Horus, is available to download, now shipped with several high-quality computers with OS 7. We focused on helping you get the apps you need, empowering you with new features and settings, and evolving their developer platform. So a lot of the stuff they did is kind of like on the backside. Now, the apps that you need, that, according to them, are like in their app store, which we'll take a look at in a minute. We've completely rewritten the way navigation works in the App Center and now support 2-finger swipe gestures to navigate back. The entire app loads much faster and provides more feedback when running background tasks via an overlay bar in the bottom or right or left-hand corner. App descriptions, they've redone the app descriptions in there as well to be a little bit more clearer. App Center now also installs operating system updates offline, ensuring that important services are restarted correctly, when they do need to be restarted, and it helps avoid crashes. Sideloading alt stores. Now, sideloading apps and using alternate stores like FlatHub is a major feature of elementary OS and a competitive edge over closed platforms that only let you install apps from a locked-down store. In this release, we've made several improvements to smooth out the experience of using alt stores based on your feedback to the latest cross-platforms. So basically, you're able to download like the FlatHub and right-click on it, and you should be able to install it through their app store or through their installer. They also have warning dialogues that they put throughout the place. Also, the web apps are available in here as well. And the new features and settings that they've done is the initial setup and onboarding, which I was talking about, the welcome window that sets you up with downloading firmware, doing system updates, that kind of stuff. So just like the post install welcome that like you're used to with like Arch distributions, that kind of stuff. So anyhow, so that's a look at pretty much what's the new features. Now we've seen all the other stuff, so let's go ahead and take a look at their App Center. And one thing that I'm going to tell you about their App Center that is different than most, and that's also one of the things that they were kind of known for, was the way that they revolutionized an App Center with Linux when they first started off in their early days. Outside of customizing Ubuntu to make it look like Mac, they were one of the first ones to do that. And so what's interesting about the app stores is they're the ones that came up with this whole, what you see here, which is, you have the apps displayed there. They have a title banner across the top with suggestions of what's featured apps and stuff like that. And then they categorized it. As you can see, they're the ones that they created the inception of the categorization of apps that are like this. Now, Synaptic Package Manager had always had them categorized. They just took it, made it look more modern. And so this is your app store, just as like the regular Ubuntu App Store, Gnome Software Center, whatever you want to call it. Even Dolphin emulates this now in their Discover Center. But this is pretty much so what they are. Now, if you'll notice, what's interesting here is you got a bunch of featured apps at the top, or recently updated apps at the top, right? From Dark Bar, which is a $2 one. It's a paid for one, and they got free ones. And that's what I was wanting to kind of go over, is you'll notice that they have a big push on paid apps, and there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. I mean, I am definitely supporting developers getting paid for their work, because a lot of what they do is thankless and stuff like that, and, they do things behind the scenes and they take care of problems. I mean, they make our life wonderful. That's why we enjoy Linux, is because of developers. So they do that. But what's interesting is that if you look at the apps that they have, they're pretty much so 50-50 in paid versus premium. In some other categories, it's more paid than free. Like, here's all the paid stuff. As you can see, they're like Akira, which is a design tool. You have Palette, which is a brand palette. You know what I'm saying, for elementary, for colors. You have Roll It. I mean, all screen recorder is $1. I mean, they have all these paid apps, and then they have all these free ones down below, but they're pretty much so 50-50. And there's, like I said, I'm all for doing that, for allowing other people to get paid for their work. But also, you got to understand, if you're trying to get new to Linux users here to use your desktop, then I mean, you gotta get with the times and kind of not do the Microsoft or the Apple App Store like they're doing here, where they're overburdening seemingly the paid versus the non-free. Like, looky here. Here is the Radiola thing, and the Record, which is free, right next to the Mixer, which is $3. Then they got all of these paid apps right here, and then the free apps are at the very bottom. So it's kind of like they minimize the free and maximize the paid for versions. Like here for like IRC or chat clients, right? I mean, they don't even offer Pigeon or any of these other ones that are used that are free. They just only offer the Iridium 5 and then the Mail one, the Mail app that they have created. For education, let's take a look at education, see what we have. Nothing in education. It crashes. That is interesting. Let's try finance. Does finance crash on us? Oops, I didn't mean to click on Hourglass. Let's go to finance. We have Crypt for $10, which is a cryptocurrency wallet, and then Moneta, which is monitor the exchange rates of real-world currencies. So not even like a My Money or anything like that, GNU Cash, anything like that in there. You see, I mean, it's just strange what they've wanted to curate for the apps that they wanted to put in there. I mean, I'm glad they put some apps in there, and they're ones that are made for them, but really, some of them just don't make sense. They just don't make sense at all. The games, of course, you've got your free games, your Tic-Tac-Toe, your Warble, which is $1, and then they've got the Clairvoyant, the Paint Spill, Roll It, for pay, and then down at the bottom they got the free apps, which is like Gonograms, Xanus, which is a Tic-Tac-Toe app. I mean, Sage, which is Break the Code, Achieve Mastery. I mean, they have games that I really haven't heard of. Well, where's the Tux Kart? Where's the Tux Racer? Where's chess? Where's the Mahjong? Those kind of games. I mean, that's what I said. The apps that they curated are kind of weird. In what they've picked. For internet, let's see what they offer under internet. They have a good selection here for the paid stuff. They got the Crypto, the Iridium, Taxi, Spectator, Vido, which is a video downloader, RSS reader, Easy SSH that's paid for. And then under the free versions, they got a download manager. They got their web browser, which is the Gnome, the web browser for Gnome, which is like I said, their Firefox Works. Fondue for wallpapers. They got the Mail. They got the V server. Hamachi. No, Haguichi, which is for Hamachi. Starfish, which is surf the Gemini space, and then comic sticks. Where's like your transmission? Where's like your other, you know, like other browsers that might be available? Where's your VNC servers? Where's your other SSH servers? Not the free one, not the paid one, but the regular SSH servers. Where's those kind of things? See, that's what I'm saying. They didn't install any apps into here. They want you to go to the App Store to get your apps, but then they're also kind of giving you a very limited selection. Of course, you can go to the alt stores to do that, but if you're a new to Linux user, if they're trying to attract new to Linux users, that makes no sense. Why make it more difficult on them? You know, why not enable the Flat Hub repository right off the GitHub, off the bat? And I mean, that's where the Gnome Software Center, you can see exactly where you're downloading it from. I mean, it's very different. And to me, it's something that I'm not really with on it. I don't agree with this tactic that they're using for their software. I understand that they're trying to push the paid apps, as I've said like 5 times already. I agree with getting devs paid, but also the reality of it is if you're doing that, you're putting this software out. A lot of your technical people that would automatically want to go into the command line and, you know, download something through either, you know, the Synaptic Package Manager, if it's even installed on here, which I think it is, and Flat Hub, then that's a very technical thing to do for that not a noob would do. So most of the technical people that can do that kind of stuff are not going to be using this OS. They're going to be using something that's like Arch based or you know, Fedora based or something like that. You know, they're not going to be here. You know what I mean? So I find that hard to see that. I find it hard to understand what they're trying to do here as far as trying to make it something that is going to attract people to it. So in a way, I think they're kind of stalling themselves here. So you have under, what was that? That I clicked on writing and language. You have Looper, which is like your magnifier, which is all free. And then they have their paid apps here, which is Comet, write better Git commit messages, Outliner, which is organizes your words, and then Text Shine. And then under the free stuff, you got Conocase, Looper, Nokara, which is a continuous text editor, and Notes Up, for notes. So, I mean, like I said, they have, I have no idea what they're trying to do with their App Center, what they're trying to include. They've included, like I said, a lot of the paid stuff that is okay, but like Tuner, like to listen to internet radio, they have that. Where's a radio tray? Why not install radio tray or something like that? Or Spotify, like a lot of other apps, a lot of other softwares have Spotify available. So I don't, you know, I just don't, I don't get it. But that's their thing. I don't want to beat that horse to death, but that's their claim to fame as their App Center, and they're kind of lacking in it. Elementary 7 OS is elementary still, very much so. They've implemented some newer ports into other portions of apps, like the mail, the updated icons look, you know, the updated feel of it, which is not a lot. I mean, it's just a matter of just new wallpapers and new icons, you know, and they look good. Everything looks fine. The App Center, like I said, is still the elementary App Center and what it's known for, which is, you know, categorizing things and making it look beautiful, instead of being like the Synaptic Package Manager was back in the day. You can't add different PPAs to download from or anything like that, or repositories outside of doing it through a command line, not like you could in like Synaptic Package Manager or other app stores where you can add them. You can't enable Flat Hub without, or Flatpaks without, or it already is enabled. Sorry, my bad. It's very limited on the apps. That's all I want to drive home. It's limited on the apps, which is, to me, is a negative on their part. Just a quick summary. Elementary OS is still definitely elementary. It does have beauty to it. It's very well polished, so to speak, in the desktop experience. Let's take a look real quick before we leave. I'm going to open up Terminal and see what actually Flatpaks they actually have installed. And it's going to be flat, FLAT pack list. And Mesa is a flat pack that they've installed. Videos is, screenshot is, music is. These are the ones, camera is, the whole elementary platform is a flat pack. The 7.1 platform is a flat pack. Their GNOME web browser is Epiphany, that's it. Epiphany is a flat pack. The document viewer events is a flat pack. Interesting that a great portion of this OS is actually, and the apps are flat packs that are their curated flat packs, and not from FlatHub, that's for sure. So anyhow, yeah, that is a look at Elementary OS 7.0, the newest release that from version 6 to 7 was a year's time. So they've taken a year to do those changes that they've made to make those. And in my humble opinion, and like I said, it's simply my opinion, I feel that their OS is starting to get outdated. Yes, it looks a little more modern. It's still up there with the fresh look and stuff like that. But the actual usability of it and the way that the way they're approaching things is kind of outdated. A lot of your software centers out there all have multiple versions of an application that does certain things out there for the users to choose from, and it's all outside of window manager operating systems. It's all click and point and very easy. It's not like these have reverted back to where if you want to install an app, you have to install the PPA and make sure that other software sources are available and then install it. Versus what's going on with other package managers today. They've gone the opposite. All that's included. They just throw it all in there, and then you can pick from there. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Leave a comment down below. Please don't forget to like and share. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Also, we're over 1,000 subscribers now, and I would like to thank my Patreons for their support. Mirlav Krelesa is my Patreon. I really thank him so much for his support. Don't let him be the only supporter of this channel. Please, guys, you could either smash the thanks button down below and contribute, or you guys can go over to my Patreon page, which is Linux_tube at patreon.com, and make a pledge over there. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm humbled by all you guys' support. You guys keep doing what you guys do. You guys keep having stay blessed and have a great day, and y'all keep on Linuxing.